everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video we are going to be trying out new makeup like we do over here on Fridays. I have a lot to try out this week once again. So I did recently receive a package from Colourpop, so I have some new items here that I want to try out. I have the All-Star Matte and Blur Primer, also the All-Star Face Setting Spray, and then another few items here from Colourpop. I have their No Filter Setting Powder. This is the loose translucent powder, and then also a highlight. This is the InNudeEnDo highlight palette from Colourpop. Then a few more items here. This actually just showed up at my door today. This is the latest MAC and Patrick Starrr collaboration. So I have an eyeshadow palette and also a lip color to try out. And then I have from Viseart, this is the Theory palette. This is a face palette. I think it's just called Theory. It has a bronzer, blush, and highlight in this trio here. And then from Nars, we have a new mascara. This is a mascara from Nars. We're going to be trying out the Climax mascara. So once again, a lot to try out. So why don't we go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the face first. So I'm going to use the primer from Colourpop. I have tried this one time already. So this is their new Matte and Blur Primer. This is $10 on the website, or if you do buy this and the setting spray together, they're both $10 on their own, or if you want to buy both, you can buy them for $18, so you get $1 off each, or $2 total off. So this is supposed to be a mattifying primer and also a blurring primer. Like I said, I did use it yesterday. I'm just going to go ahead and rub it into my skin here. I noticed that it has a nice scent to it. It's almost kind of like some sort of fruity scent, like maybe like orange or something like that, but I actually don't mind the scent myself. And I noticed that I can definitely tell it's more of like a pore filling primer. It's not too like silicone-y for like what I'm feeling, but I can just tell that it's a little bit thicker. And I noticed that especially here where I get larger pores, I felt like I could notice that it was blurred out as well. And I didn't have a new foundation or concealer, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the combo here from Colourpop that I have, the No Filter Foundation. I'm in the shade Light 75, and then also the No Filter Concealer, which I'm in the shade Medium 20, so I'm just going to kind of skip through this part. I do have reviews on both of these products. I'll go ahead and leave them linked down below in case you are wondering my thoughts on them. The foundation, I really do enjoy. The concealer, I'm not as big of a fan of. But I really do quite like this foundation, and I did also use it yesterday with the Colourpop primer as well, and I feel like they paired really well together. Okay, so after I have the foundation and concealer on, I'm going to use the No Filter setting powder. Now this is the loose setting powder, and it was sent to me in translucent. Oh, I forgot to say, Colourpop did also, when they sent this package, they sent me along that same $5 code that I've had, which is Samantha 5. It's for $5 off. It's not an affiliate code, so I'm not getting anything for it, but if you're interested in placing an order from Colourpop, the fine print on it said that it is a one-time use coupon, so I think maybe if you've used it from the past box that I sent and they sent me that coupon, it might not work, but you can always give it a shot. And the orders do need to be on $10 or more to get the $5 off, and it said it was valid for 30 days. So again, it'll probably go till like mid to late September, I'm assuming. But this is what the translucent powder looks like, if I can try to show you without making a mess here. It is a pretty small container. I know some people are wondering if you can fit your sponge in it okay. I can. I'm using the sponge. This is from the Sigma sister company. It starts with a P. I'll have everything listed down below, my makeup, tools, brushes, all of that. I can fit it in fine, so I don't have a problem with it, but I just thought I'd show you guys how I'm getting the product out there. And then I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use this to set my under eyes, and then I'm also going to use it to set the rest of my foundation. Like I said, I do like this Colourpop foundation, but one thing I noticed is that I really do need to set it with some sort of powder, else it'll kind of move and slip around and almost make me a little bit more on the glowy side after prolonged wear. But like I said, I did use this powder yesterday as well on my under eyes and also on my skin, and I thought it looked really nice. I feel like it's doing some really nice things for my under eyes. It's really kind of blurring everything out and making my under eyes look really smooth. And I thought my skin looked really nice as well. So I want to try it again because I've been testing out the Milk Makeup Blur Powder that I used in last week's video, and I have been loving it. I said in last week's video I wasn't sure if it was the Milk Blur foundation or the powder that was making my skin look so good, but I've been trying the powder on its own without the Milk foundation, and it's the powder. It's really, really nice. So I'm excited to try this one out because on first glance, like the first time I tried it, It kind of reminded me of that Milk one, and this would be a lot more affordable option. This is $9 and the Milk Makeup one is in the 20s, I believe. So I'm just going to use the other end of my sponge here and dip that into the powder. Again, I'm really having no issues except that it's a little bit messy, which most powders are. So I'm just going to use the other end here, and then I'm just going to kind of like tap along my skin and then just bounce that into the skin to set the foundation. And this is translucent, so I didn't notice yesterday it changing my foundation color at all or anything like that, so I'll take note of that again today. But as always, when I'm trying out new makeup, you know, some of these are first impressions, some of these I've only tried one time. I'll come back in a couple weeks and do some reviews. I know that I owe some reviews for a couple past videos now. I need to get those up. August has been so crazy for my filming schedule. I post videos 6 days a week and I'm still just like, there's so many videos I need to do. It's crazy. So usually I don't need to like dust anything away on my face because I pounce it in pretty hard with the blender, but I'm just gonna grab my Morphe E3 and just make sure that I have no excess powder on my under eyes because I do go a little bit heavy under there. So I think my skin is looking really nice. Again, I like the Colourpop foundation and I'm really liking it in combination with the powder, with the primer, and then also I'm really liking that powder. I think it's looking pretty good. Alrighty, so I'm gonna move on to some bronzer and blush. So I'm gonna use this palette here from Viseart. This is the Theory palette, and I believe, yes, this is the Ablaze. So I'm looking at the Sephora website, and this is a $45. I did also get this sent to me from Viseart. So if you pull it like so, you have a mirror and then your 3 different shades here. So we have a bronzer, blush, and highlight. I'm just gonna use the bronzer and blush because I do have a highlight from Colourpop that I do want to try out in that InNudeEnDo palette, I believe it is. So I'm just gonna take a little plastic off the mirror here so I can use it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and try out this bronzer. I'm gonna use my Sigma F30 powder brush like I normally do for bronzer, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start to apply that to the cheeks. I've never tried any Viseart face products. I do not believe. I've only tried a couple of their eyeshadow palettes, so I'm excited to try something new from them. And so far so good on the bronzer. I feel like it's pigmented without being overly pigmented, pretty smooth on the skin, seems to be blending pretty easily. I'm also going to add some bronzer to my forehead. For blush, I'm using the blush in the palette and my Sigma F40, and ooh, that's going to be a pretty pigmented blush. Okay then, felt like I went pretty light-handed too, so that shows up really well. Very nice. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this out on the cheek as well. Alrighty, so bronzer and blush is on. I'm super zoomed in now because I'm going to do the eyes, but so far so good for that Viseart Theory palette. But I am going to go ahead and switch the eyes. Like I said, I did just receive the latest MAC and Patrick Starrr collection. So Patrick Starrr, a YouTuber, big YouTuber here, has done several collaborations now with MAC, and I got this one sent to me in PR. So what this collaboration is, they did send me a little press sheet here as well. So there is 2 different collections that you can purchase with this one. So in kit number 1, which came in a box like this is called Oh No, She Betta Don't. You get the Ultimate Diva Retro Matte Liquid Lip Color, and this one is a cool nude, and then you also get an eyeshadow quad. You have 4 different shades in there, and it is retailing for $21. There also is kit number 2, which is Boy About Town. It also comes with a liquid lipstick and then also a eyeshadow quad as well. So this is what the packaging looks like here, and then when you open it up, you have 4 different shades of the eyeshadows, and then I did go ahead and swatch them as well. So the shades are described. Let me read it off here. We have a soft caramel, a cool medium brown, a blackened brown, and a deep blackened olive. So that is the color scheme in this palette here. So trying to think of what I'm gonna do. And then I will also try out the lipstick as well, which looks like this. And this one is called Ultimate Diva, I already said that, and I'm glad that I got the nude. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to create an eye look using all 4 of these shades. This is slightly challenging for me, but we're gonna give it a shot here. So I don't think that's bad, $21 for 4 eyeshadows and a lip color, because normally MAC lipsticks on their own, like the liquid lips, I think they're like $17 or something like that. So I don't know, I don't really think that that's a terrible price, but you do have to buy the kit, so you can't just purchase them separately, and then there's the 2 different kits to choose from. So I'm first gonna take this first shade here in my Bdellium Tools 785 blending brush, and I'm gonna put that into the crease. I really don't know if this is gonna show up on me, but we're just gonna try to make it a transition color and see how we do. I did use the Colourpop Concealer on my eyelids, and then I also just used a bit of a powder to set the concealer as well. I do apologize if you notice my eyes are just a little bit swollen. I'm filming this on Tuesday, and unfortunately the news this morning, we've had a missing girl here in Iowa, and it doesn't appear that her story is ending well. So the press conference is happening in a few hours, and I'm planning to watch it, but I don't really want to talk about it because I'm gonna get upset. But it's just been a sad morning. I didn't know her personally or her family, but it's been, you know, a lot of people in Iowa have been very kind of shook by this case, and you can't really go anywhere, or like every time I've been with my friends, we've all been talking about it and just what the heck could have happened there. So my husband actually texted me this morning and said that there was news on the case, and I was so sad, and I had to call my mom, and you know, it's just sad. Okay, so this shade is being described as a soft caramel, which is funny because like in the pan it looks more of like a soft, like a cool tone purple almost, and the swatch like pretty much barely showed up on me, but I feel like the swatch looks more of like the soft caramel. But I don't know, on the eyes it's kind of like a brown purple. I have no idea how to describe this color, but it showed up better on the eyes than I thought, so that's just going to be kind of our transition color here. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab a blending brush. This is the Sigma E25, and I'm going to take this shade right here, which is the blackened brown. So the swatch looks like. I'm kind of nervous for this one because this is really, really deep, so I'm going to go light hand at first and kind of tap this on the outer part of my eye here and just kind of see what look that we're gonna come up with today. I wanted to use all 4 shades, and I don't know, it's just a little bit challenged. I like these MAC and Patrick Starrr, am I close enough? I like these MAC and Patrick Starrr quads. I've gotten a lot of them in PR, which has been super cool. Some of them I've liked more than the others, like some of the ones that came out last year I really did enjoy, but sometimes I just kind of find with only 4 shades, I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? So I'm just gonna give this a shot and kind of lightly build up this really dark color here, and also make sure I'm blending it into the crease as well. A little bit of fallout also. I don't get a ton with MAC shadows, so I thought it would be okay to do my face first, but I might just have to gently sweep that away. Such a dark shade, I feel like it blended really easily. Like I don't feel like I had a lot of troubles with that. And that's not usually the case with these really dark tones, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do same thing here on the other eye. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna take this shimmer here. So this is more of, again, it's almost kind of like a cool toned purple shimmer. I'm gonna go ahead and spray my brush. You know, it's so funny, when I used to do these, when I was trying something new, I wouldn't spray my brush with Fix Plus first. I would just go in and use the shadow, and then I typically would come back in with Fix Plus because that's just what I do with shimmers. And people are like, why are you doing that? Just do how you normally do your makeup. Like if you spray your brush, spray your brush. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. And now as I'm trying out new makeup, I've just been kind of automatically spraying my brush, and people are like, why are you doing that? We want to see it without, you know, any sort of like wetting agent. And I'm like, wow, you just really can't win. But this is just how I typically do my makeup, and especially because I do have my face done, I don't want to, like, if you spray your brush, it does help with fallout, especially with shimmers. It can just really help. So I don't know, it's just one of those things, man, that you can't please everybody. So I'm just gonna do my makeup how I normally do my makeup, and that is spraying my brush. So sorry to those of you that it really bothers, but I used to do it a different way, and it appeared to bother a lot of people. So you win some, you lose some. But I'm just gonna go ahead and place that on the inner part of my eye. And that is a really, really beautiful shimmer. I really am liking that one. I feel like off the bat, I'm a lot more impressed with this palette than I was the last one from Patrick Starrr, which I'm trying to think of which one it was, but I don't feel like I gave it a very good review. He's done so many, but it was the one with the more colorful. It had like the blue packaging on it, and I was just kind of like underwhelmed, and the shade selections inside, and I wasn't really understanding them. And I don't think I've reached for it since I gave my review, but so far so good for these shades. I'm pretty darn impressed with this one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing here on the other eye. Just gonna apply that shimmer right here in the inner part. That is such a beautiful color. Oh, excellent. I did get a little bit of fallout still, so I'm just gonna take a brush and try to lightly wipe that away so it doesn't settle in and give me shiny purple under eyes. I'm gonna take my first blending brush and I'm just gonna kind of softly blend these together so there's not such like that harsh line there. So again, I'm just gonna kind of softly do a little blend here. I'm really liking the way that the eyes have come out so far. Awesome. Add some eyeliner to my waterline I used from Urban Decay Empire, which is a matte purple. And then for the lower lash line, I really did want to use this green just so I could try out all the different colors. So I think I'm still going to go ahead and do that. It does have a little bit of shimmer in it as well, but I just kind of want to see, I don't know, this might like ruin the eye look, but I still wanted to try all the different shades on my eyes. So I'm just taking the Morphe E36 and I'm going to go ahead and sweep this onto the lower lash line. I kind of like how kind of smokier that made it. I mean, I kind of went, you know, a little heavy, which I feel like I sometimes normally do with my lower lash line, but I kind of like that color combination off the bat. So, hey, not too bad. Alrighty, so to finish off the eyes, I'm going to use the new mascara here from Nars. This was sent to me. This is the Climax mascara, and it is $24, so very interesting packaging here. So here's what it looks like. It says something on the Ulta website. I'll let you go read that yourself. But it's supposed to be a volume building mascara, lash moisture complex for a whipped creamy formula. It's supposed to lift and build without clumping or smudging. It says a few more things. I'll let you go read that. Link down below. Here is what the wand looks like. So pretty interesting looking wand. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to my lashes. Alrighty, so I do have the mascara on. I did 2 coats and I think it's okay. I could definitely tell that it volumized and curled the lashes. So if those are what you're really interested in, I think that you could like this one. I wish it would have made my lashes just a little bit longer because I have really, really short lashes. But I think that it did a pretty decent job actually. It felt like more of a drier formula, which was nice because sometimes if it's wet, it can transfer really quickly onto me, but I noticed that like I could do my bottom lashes and my top lashes and I wasn't getting any mascara on my face. So I think that it looks pretty good so far with the 2 coats of mascara on. I'm gonna move over to highlight now. So I'm gonna use this palette here from Colourpop. It's the InNudeEnDo highlight palette. So you have 6 different shades inside. This is $18. And I did go ahead and swatch all of the shades here. So here's what all 6 look like. This last one here looks like it would be a beautiful eyeshadow. I think that one looks really pretty. So you have kind of variety on here of like the pearl, the pink, the gold, and I think I'm going to go ahead and use this 3rd one right here, which is the last one in the first row. It is called Fine Line. I think that's what I'm going to use for my highlight here. So I'm just going to grab a mirror. I'm going to use the Stilazzi highlight brush, the S509. It's just kind of a tapered highlight brush here, and I'm going to go ahead and apply it. This is my first time trying the highlight palette. And noticing when I swatched it, they seemed a little bit powdery, but they all swatched really nice. I feel like they showed up pretty well. So there's one pass here, and I'm just going to go ahead and build it up on my cheekbones. I think that's pretty darn good. I'm actually going to come in a 3rd time just to really make sure people know that I'm not playing around. So I think that that looks pretty good. I've never tried any of the Colourpop highlight palettes before. Like I've tried Colourpop highlights and I have a face duo with a highlight in there that I especially love. But I was excited to give a highlight palette a try. So you have to let us know if you've tried this one and what you think of it. But so far for Fine Line, I do kind of have to, you know, build it up a little bit, but I don't mind that. And I think that looks really pretty. It's not it's not glittery at all. It just has that really nice kind of like, this one isn't such like a wet glow that you get with a few other highlights, but I think it's really pretty. I'm just gonna run the brush down center of my nose and then the tip of my nose, so like normal. Alright, and then before I do lips, I am going to go ahead and spray my face with the All Star setting spray, and this is supposed to be a matte setting spray. I used it yesterday. I thought it was pretty good, but don't have much of an opinion on it yet. Again, it does have a bit of a scent to it as well, and I would say when you spray it, make sure to really like boom the nozzle down, because if you kind of like, it really like at you right away, so you want to like firmly press your finger down on the nozzle. But then I didn't mind the spray, and I think that looks pretty nice. I don't notice anything, like I don't notice it upsetting my makeup at all. Ooh, a little bit right there. I can kind of notice a drop, but I'm just gonna go ahead and fan that in. And I'll give this a couple more tries. If you've tried this one too, let us know. I feel like I'm trying out some new setting sprays as well recently, but so far so good for the Colourpop spray. Alright, and so for my final step for the lip color, I'm going to use the one in the MAC and Patrick Starrr collection, the one called Ultimate Divas. Here's what the packaging looks like. And here's what the applicator looks like, really standard to the MAC lip colors, to the MAC liquid lipstick, sorry. And there is a swatch of that color. I feel like I'm going to get on with this one quite well. I do like MAC liquid lipsticks. I own quite a few of them, and I have a few favorite shades in there. They're not, I wouldn't say that they're my top favorite liquid lipstick, but I still think that they're really nice and I would recommend them. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this one. I really, really like this lip color. This looks so good for fall. Oh my gosh. I really, really like this. And again, I do like this formula and this color. I am just digging so hard right now. So that is pretty sweet. But after my lip color, that is going to do it for this week's Trying New Makeup. Okay, guys, so this is the final makeup that I came up with this week. And to run through all the products that I've used, so far so good on the Colourpop primer. I'm liking it, especially for the blurring effect that I feel like it's giving my pores. So I am appreciating that. The Colourpop No Filter Setting Powder, I'm actually really quite impressed with this one again today. For my under eyes, for my face, I feel like my skin just looks really good when I've been using this. So I'm excited to try it with a few more other foundations as well, because I've only paired it so far with the Colourpop foundation, but so far so good for the powder also. For the Viseart Theory palette, the Ablaze palette with the 3 different face shades, I did not use the highlight today, but I really liked the bronzer in here, and the blush I thought was pretty decent as well. I feel like the blush added just like that kind of like rosy pop of color to the cheeks, like without it looking like too much like blush. Once I started to blend it out, it just kind of gave like a really nice warmth to the cheeks that I quite liked. So I'll be excited to try the highlight out of this palette as well, but I'll be pretty stoked if I find a cute little like almost like travel friendly palette like this as a face palette. That'll be pretty cool. For the Patrick Starrr eyeshadow palette, I'm actually really, really happy with this one, which has me excited because like I said, the last one I wasn't really feeling the color scheme in there, but these shades so far I'm really quite liking. Again, I felt a little stumped when I first opened this, but I like the eye look that I came up with, and I was pretty impressed with it. A little bit of fallout, but especially how well this really dark shade blended. I thought that I did pretty good, and I didn't really work very hard for it, so I'm excited to give this a few more tries and see what other looks I can come up with. The Climax mascara from Nars, again, I'm pretty impressed with this one too. I felt like this was a pretty darn good week. Last week was a little hit or miss, but I feel like this one is really nice, especially for volume and for curl. So I'm excited to give it a few more tries and see how it works out for my lashes, but so far so good. And then the Colourpop InNudeEnDo highlight palette. I just want to say innuendo. That's all I want to say. I want to skip out the nude. So far, again, so good on the highlight palette as well. This is only the first shade that I've tried out of it, but the swatches had me pretty impressed. This definitely gives me like glow kit vibes and all of that, but I'll definitely try out a few of the other shades that will, you know, work pretty good with my skin tone. Also, I feel like I do, for me personally, have a lot of options in this one, so I'll give it a few more tries, but I like the highlight that I have today. And then for the setting powder, or the setting spray that I used, one thing I'll say, because I just sprayed my face, I felt like instantly once I sprayed it, I feel like my face feels more matte. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I wasn't feeling like super mattified or anything prior to spraying this, and once I sprayed it, I felt like I instantly noticed that it did something to my skin. I don't know if it like is locking the makeup in or if it really did just like mattify me, but I definitely can like feel a difference on my face. So I did want to say that about this, but again, only second time I've tried it, so so far so good with it. And then this lip color from the MAC and Patrick Starrr collection I think is such a stunning color. I do like this liquid lipstick. I don't think it's the longest wearing liquid lipstick formula that I have, but I do think that it's more of a thinner consistency, so it's easier to reapply, and I love this color. I also really do enjoy the applicators on these liquid lipsticks because it comes to that really fine tip up there, so it's easier to line the lips as well because I don't use lip liner every day. So the collection overall for me with MAC and Patrick Starrr, first impressions, is a hit for me. So those are all of the products and my little first thoughts on them as I tried them out today. Let me know about your thoughts on all the products that I tried out and which ones caught your attention. As always though, check back in a couple weeks. I will have some reviews on these products. And of course, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in Sunday's video. Bye.